So thank you guys so much. We'll let you go ahead and start with you and with Dr. Fee and let you go.
Okay, I'm Courtney Fee. I am the current commissioner in District 7, and I have served since 2010 on the county commission. I grew up in Tipton County. I'm a product of Tipton County schools. I like to call myself a hybrid. I'm a Bright Man Munford person. For those of you who were here when the district consolidated schools, I am one of those products. So we have been to both Bright Man Munford. And my family is a lifelong Tipton County family as well. My mom's an educator, Daddy worked for the post office, and we've loved the county. We've been here, I was not here all my life. I went here, grew up here, and then went to Memphis to Christian Brothers, and then spent some time working in Memphis. So I came back with a different set of eyes. I appreciated the question earlier on how do we get people back to Tipton County, listening to Christy talk about going to Nashville and then coming back home. I think I always knew that I would come back home. And so I have served, my daily work is to serve as principal at Munford High School. And I'm now on finishing, this will be my last semester of my 14th year as the principal. And I came back home. I was in college admissions at Christian Brothers, came back home to work in the high school where I really felt like that we could make a big difference, not only in our county, but in the world. So I've been back home since 2003 and just love serving. Want to serve as your county commissioner, want to continue that service to the county. I think we've got a fabulous county, and I want people to know how fabulous that county is and want to be a part of the change as we change leadership, want to be a part of that so that we can maintain. We're somewhat an envy of the state when we get along, and we want to be able to maintain that as well. When we go to state meetings and people say, where are you from? And you say Tipton County, people go, oh, you're from Tipton County. We want to keep that because we're worth it here in this county. So just want to continue to serve and would like your support if you are from District 7.
Thank you so much.
What she said. My name is Brad Case. I am also currently serving as commissioner in District 7 alongside with Commissioner Fee. I make the joke one time that I was the Robin to her Batman. I live over in Mason, and I have a wife, 3 kids, a grandson, and another one on the way as of right now. Any minute now, there'll be a second one. And no, it's exciting. I absolutely, to piggyback on what Commissioner Fee said, talking about service. It took a good 2 to 3 months to really grasp the essence of what this job means, what we are honored to do this, by the way, because we're chosen. It's not something we submitted. The resume we gave was the one that we went door to door to earn your vote, and it's one we don't take lightly. You know, you have big government, so you might see a difference in 5, 6, 7 years. But the really cool thing about being a commissioner is that we get to make decisions on your behalf that affect you immediately. When you walk out your front door, maybe something that you were needing or something that was, a hindrance in your life, we have a chance to serve you, be your voice, be your vote. If there's something that's not going right in your neighborhood, guess what? Call us. You do. And we go and vote on your behalf every single time. Commissioner Fee and I both, it's what you, the people of District 7, and Tipton County as a whole want, and we're your representatives, your voice. It's the easiest way to describe this job. We represent each and every one of you. Thank you.
My name is Alvis Ferrell. I'm not an incumbent, and I'm not a county commissioner, but hope to be soon. I'm a lifelong Tipton County. I was born and raised in Tipton County, and I've been blessed twice to have two great families in my life. And it was kind of funny coming up here because it wasn't that long ago. My 2 granddaughters were on this stage before me, so it was kind of an aha moment. But anyway, I have served 14 years on the Tipton County School Board, along with Mr. Darby, and almost called him chief. I did that all the time, but anyway.
You'll still answer.
I had to make myself not call him chief, because he was the chief deputy, he was the chief financial officer. But I love Tipton County, and the opportunity came many years ago when my father-in-law passed away, and had the opportunity to serve on the school board. And it's just like the county commission. You serve the people of the county, and that's what it's all about. And some things that prompt me to run this time, and I'm looking forward to see how this plays out. And I appreciate your support, your vote, and maybe the opportunity to work with Chief Darby again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so our first question is kind of the same question that we've been asking everybody else. We'll start with you, Courtney. What are the top unaddressed issues in District 7, and what are you going to do in your term to make progress on those?
Okay, the top unaddressed issues, or the one that seems to be, it's already been mentioned once, is growth along the Highway 14 corridor. Many of you know I live along the Highway 14 corridor, and we say growth, we talk about sewer, we talk about what it takes to grow on the Highway 14 corridor, but then the big question is, how do we maintain the ruralness that the people in the area really want to maintain? So I think it's an issue of balance, and I know some people don't necessarily want to hear that, because we talk about growth, we talk about needing growth, we talk about needing retail. It's a great place in the county to have retail and grow if we get our sewer. However, we've got a lot of constituents in District 7 that really want to make sure that we maintain the ruralness of that area. We've recently had an issue where we had to address that type of situation. But I do believe that as we move forward, that is one of the big issues in District 7 that tends to be something that people talk about. If we're building something, if somebody wants to go have an industrial site, we've got to pay attention to the residential piece in District 7. If you want to, have some type of facility, you want to pay attention to the residential piece in the District 7 district. And so those are the types of things that I think are our big issues in District 7 because of the rural nature of so much of our district there. But Highway 14 corridor is clearly a big issue for us.
Okay, thank you.
Piggybacking on what Commissioner Fee just said, talking about growth and talking about infrastructure, sewage. We, I think it was August of last year, we actually added a section to resolution 2508515, section 2, 04.10.
I will fact check it.
Check it. Where we added we defined what the disposal of subsurface toxic waste, hazardous materials, infectious materials, things of that nature, that prohibited industry from just dumping. We were having an issue over in Mason across the street from CoreCivic, where businesses were coming from other counties and dumping over there. And we had some constituents in our district that were complaining about it. The smell was horrible. And we addressed it, added a section that defined what it is in the already existing resolution. So along with what we're talking about with growth, rezoning, another thing that is unaddressed is the communication part. We had, with the rezoning issue that we came across with Highway 14, we had people that didn't know it was going down, what it entailed, and they got active. They started a petition. So it's to inform the people of our county. Very big decisions that happen, to make sure that they're informed and they're up to speed, and that we're there to answer the phone, answer the text, the email, and everything like that that gives them the answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess really what Courtney said, the growth of 14, and then also what Brad said, the communication issue. To me personally, the communication issue is the biggest problem. Because all that happened with the hearing and all that about it, I didn't know about it until somebody outside, a friend outside my district asked me about it. And I've been living in the district since 1980. And I didn't know anything about what's going on. So I think the communication and getting it out to the public, letting the people know what's going on, is one of the biggest issues we have in District 7 right now. And I'd like to see us go further with that and with the next county commission and actually do a live streaming of our meetings or some kind of a report that we can put out every month and let our people know what's going on so they'll know not only in District 7 but for the rest of the county.
Perfect. That segues perfectly into our next question, which is how do you ensure that constituents in District 7 are informed about and have a real chance to weigh in on significant votes or zoning decisions before they happen? And we'll start with Brad.
So sometimes it's old school is kind of the best way to go. And door to door, face to face. That's one of the things I love about this job is that you get to make a connection face to face and to keep people informed. Now we all have we have our commissioner Facebook pages and things like that. I'll be guilty that I haven't posted all the most important things, but to be active on our media accounts to where everybody that follows us, especially the ones in our district, have access to that information. Because not everybody's going to go to tiptonco.com and check out the meeting minutes. I think that was referenced earlier. Not many people do. So it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we take it to the people that we represent. And another thing is that, to make sure that they know when a big vote is coming up in a county commission meeting. Just like what Alvis was just saying, he's been here since 1980 and he didn't know that there was a major rezoning for development across from Austin Peay. He didn't know anything about it. I heard that so many times over the course of 2 and 3 months. So it's being more active, making sure the information gets out, and to stay on top of it. Luckily, Debbie will make sure I will. She will. I'm kidding. Thank you.
Just to reiterate what I said earlier, I think we need to go more media, more upstream, live stream, and let the people know what's going on. I mean, it had happened in the last few years. I think it's time for a change. And I know at the school board we have live stream meetings every month, every time we had a meeting. And so I think that's one of the big things because, like I said, a lot of people don't go and check the minutes and stuff. I do. But, they don't go check the minutes of what happened or what's going on, the agenda, what's going to happen. And that needs to be put out for people. And just so happen Facebook is what everybody's on. So I think that's a big thing.
What I would say is I think it's incredibly important for the commissioner to be available and to be accessible. So when we address the issue that was all 14, those of us who were close to Dunlap Orphanage several years ago learned the very same lesson. When there's a little sign that says public notice, make sure you take note. Because a lot of times, if that was how it was announced, you may not know what that public notice was about, but you need to know what that public notice is about. Are there ways we can improve that? Absolutely. I think that'll be something that everyone will address for moving forward with those types of issues. Do you put it online? Do you stream it online? But then we also have the issue that not many people go and watch a meeting. The voter turnout is so incredibly low. So what does the commissioner do? What do we have to do on the commission? I think it goes back to us being available, us answering the phone when someone hears something, us responding. If they hit you up on Facebook, you respond to people. It's not unusual for me, I don't know whether my boss wants to know this, but it's not unusual for me to get a commission call at the schoolhouse. And so it's like, well, I knew I could find you there, Courtney, so I'm calling you. Okay, we've got it. I think that's very important as we move forward for us to make sure that we're accessible, whether you video meetings or whether you don't. Inform your people, whether it's a Facebook post or whether it's answering the phone and returning your calls.
Thank you so much. I want to interject really quickly right here. Is, part of what I've done for almost 20 years now is give the public information. And a lot of times you hear people are not really that involved with local government. And this is always my soapbox issue is, you know, the people that are here, and we have a Covington mayoral candidate here, we have a Toka mayoral candidate here, but the people that we have in our communities, public works, public safety, you're going to notice if your trash is not picked up. Number one issue in Kansas-Toka every week is trash. When is our trash coming? I saw it yesterday. I guess they missed trash day. But, you know, things like that we notice more than whatever is happening at the national level or at the state level. So that's why it's always like, let's get these, you know, these candidates in front of other people so that you can, you know, make that connection and so you know who to call. All right, we have one more question, and we're going to start with Mr. Ferrell. If a large residential subdivision were proposed in District 7 with inadequate road or sewer infrastructure to support it, how will you vote and why?
Well, me personally, I'd vote no. I mean, we're a rural county, and District 7 is more rural than any of the rest of them. And I don't think there's anybody out there, if it is, I'd like to know who would really want to have this. I mean, it's called farmland. And, you know, traveling around this district, going to see people, you realize how big this district is. It's really, really big. It goes all the way to Mason, all the way to Stanton, almost to Stanton anyway. But it's a pretty big district, and it's rural. And there's a lot of people here, and that's why they like living out there. And that's why I like living out. I've been there since 1980, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying there.
I think the key word to this question is balance. As we did have to address that, we did vote to represent the voice of our constituents. But we did vote to represent the voice of our constituents because that's what we're here to do. The question, I like the question about infrastructure. You know, if it doesn't have the infrastructure, do you vote on it? Our district is a district where I think balance is going to be critical because of that Highway 14 corridor and because of people's desire to not live in a city. They want to live where there's land. I think it's going to be on us as we move forward and as we vote for us to represent the voice of our constituents, because at the end of the day, that's what you were elected to do, is represent the voice of your constituents. If there is an infrastructure problem, though, I think it's also on us to talk about what needs to be done to help that infrastructure. So, for instance, if the roads need to be worked on, for instance, we have allocated a big money for this coming year, as we did last year for roads all across the county. But if infrastructure and the roads are an issue in an area where there wants to be development, we have to be telling the other commissioners about our particular district. I think the key word's balance.
Absolutely, following up on that, it would be a no for me as far as any growth, because if it's something that's not going to be beneficial to the people of our district, then it's an obvious no. I've going door to door. You know, our voting list looks a lot different in 26 than it did in 22 because there have been a lot of people to move out here, and they moved out here. What Commissioner Fee just said, our values, what Tipton County offers people that move out here, because they're moving away from something. They don't like where they were, so they're coming here. But unfortunately, sometimes when they come here, they get here for about a few months, and they go, I want a Walgreens, Starbucks, and Target little corridor right there on my corner, and they all of a sudden start making noise. But what we have to do, to Commissioner Fee's point, balance. It's balance, and it's also listening to the voter, to the people of the district. Again, we are simply your vote and your mouthpiece for your wants and needs. And that's what we're going to continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That concludes our questions for our District 7 candidates.